cracked, silent absolute. Before a single animal moves, the dry season has already declared its terms. A thin line of dawn breaks over mud so fractured, it looks like it might never hold weight again. And pressed into its surface, one set of tracks heading toward water that may no longer exist. Whose tracks are they? That question will take us the entire film to answer. Africa's dry season does not kill with heat alone. It kills by forcing every creature into the open, into the same shrinking space at the same desperate hour. Eight species, one problem. Stay alive when the land offers almost nothing. We are told the savannah runs on brute force, that the strong survive and the rest become a meal. But look more closely at those tracks in the mud. They do not all lead in the same direction. A lion does not simply dominate. It calculates, reads the terrain, shifts its diet as the season turns, pressing harder on buffalo when wildebeest and zebra scatter out of reach. A buffalo does not simply flee. It turns, it holds, it confronts. A cheetah does not outmuscle anyone. It reads the ground itself, adjusting where and when it moves at a precision that borders on the methodical. And somewhere on a raft of floating vegetation, a bird the size of your hand is running an entirely different calculation, one that has nothing to do with teeth or speed. Eight species, 8 algorithms, 1 killing season. What you are about to watch is not a film about violence. It is a film about minds, about the astonishing variety of cognitive and social strategies that have been shaped, refined, and tested across millions of years of African pressure. The wildebeest calf, barely steady on its legs at the edge of a moving herd, it is already part of a strategy older than any individual animal. The jacana, balanced on a lily pad with a nest that should not be able to survive. It is proof that the most radical survival logic sometimes floats. And the cheetah, pausing at the waterhole's edge, reading the mud before it drinks. It is doing something we will only fully understand much later in this film. Notice the buffalo, caught for just a moment facing a lion rather than running from it. File that image away. It will mean something different by the time we return to it. For now, the question simply hangs in the dry air, unanswered. If Africa's savanna is ruled by brute force, why does every species here carry a radically different survival blueprint? And which hidden intelligence, not strength, actually decides who leaves tracks in the mud come morning? When the sun climbs and the herds begin to move, buffalo, zebra, wildebeest, they do not scatter alone into the open. They mass together in numbers that seem almost reckless, almost loud, almost impossible to miss. But is that really a mistake, or is the crowd itself the oldest weapon on this continent? A thousand hooves strike the earth at once, and the ground itself seems to flinch. From above, the herd looks like a single organism, vast, shapeless, unstoppable, and that impression is exactly what keeps the predator guessing. Buffalo, zebra, wildebeest, 3 species, 3 temperaments, 1 shared wager, that the crowd itself is the strategy. The question is whether the wager ever pays out. Consider the wildebeest calf, the same fragile silhouette glimpsed at the edge of the opening stampede. It survives, not because it is fast, not because it is hidden, but because there are simply too many of them. Wildebeest time their births so precisely that calves flood the landscape within the same narrow window, saturating every predator in the ecosystem simultaneously. A lion can only eat so much. A clan of hyenas can only chase so many. The mathematics of survival, in this case, belong to the crowd. But wildebeest also carry a hidden cost inside that calculation. In the dry season, their migrations are not driven by choice. They are constrained by food availability and the hard ceiling of what the land can support. The herd does not wander. It follows a script written by rainfall and soil, and when the script runs thin, so does the margin for survival. Zebra operate under a different kind of pressure entirely. Their numbers are not insulated by predator saturation. Lions actively regulate how many zebra the plains can hold. The herd is large, yes, but it is never quite large enough to escape the arithmetic of the hunt. So zebra do something quieter, something easily missed. When lions are detected nearby, they shift toward open ground. Exposure, counterintuitively, becomes safety, because in open space, the ambush fails before it begins. This is not panic. This is calculation, distributed across hundreds of nervous systems at once. Buffalo, meanwhile, do not calculate retreat. They are the only large herbivore here that will turn and face what hunts them, and that posture, that forward lean against danger, costs the lion dearly enough that in the dry season, the pride targets buffalo more than wildebeest or zebra only when other options have narrowed. Size matters, but it is the willingness to use it that changes the equation. What emerges across all three species is not chaos. It is a distributed algorithm, invisible from ground level, but unmistakable from above. Each individual running its own private risk calculation, and the collective pattern legible only at scale. The herd does not think, but it computes. And yet, here is what the size of the crowd conceals. When the dry season hollows out the grassland and the distances between waterholes stretch longer, the mathematics begin to invert. A herd of 10,000 is also 10,000 mouths competing for the same shrinking resource. The crowd, the protected now, presses in, strains the land, and forces individuals toward the very edges where the predator waits. The tracks in the mud are converging now. Buffalo, zebra, wildebeest, all drawn toward the same dwindling water, their paths crossing and overlapping, readable to anything patient enough to follow them. So if the mathematics of the herd are this fragile, this dependent on timing, density, and ground, what happens to those who never had the option of a crowd? What intelligence fills the space where numbers run out? The wild dog pups at the den entrance have barely opened their eyes. Outside, 6 adults are already gone, slipping across the grass before first light. Six is not many in a savannah that can swallow 1,000 wildebeest and ask for more. So what, exactly, does a small group know that 1,000 cannot? This is the question that the dry season forces into the open. The crowd that was a shield becomes a burden. Too many mouths, too little left. Number, it turns out, is not a permanent answer. African wild dogs understand this in a way the herd cannot. Their pack is small by design, and that smallness demands a different kind of calculation. Every adult that leaves to hunt is an adult no longer guarding the den. The trade-off is live and unresolved on every single outing. Efficiency out there, or safety back here. What makes this remarkable is not that the dogs face this dilemma. It is that they appear to navigate it, hunt by hunt, adjusting who goes, who stays, who carries food back across kilometers of open ground. No vote is called, no hierarchy announces the decision. And yet the pack moves as if it has already agreed. The cheetah carries no such consensus, because there is no one to reach it with. She hunts alone, and in that solitude, she has developed something the pack does not need: a precise, almost architectural reading of time and space. She adjusts her movements at a scale so fine it is almost invisible, shifting her range, her hours, the geometry of her approach, to stay just outside the shadow of lions she has almost certainly never directly confronted. She is not reacting to lions in the moment. She is reading the landscape they have already passed through and choosing the intervals between them. On the horizon at dawn, her silhouette had been visible for minutes before she moved. A stillness so precise it read as part of the landscape until it wasn't. Here is the thing that reframes everything. Neither the cheetah's solitary calculus nor the wild dog's fractional arithmetic is simply about finding food. Both are systems for managing information under scarcity. Who knows what, how fast that knowledge moves, and who acts on it. In a pack of 6, information travels in seconds through posture, contact, direction of gaze. In a coalition of one, it travels nowhere, so the cheetah must store it all herself, in pattern, in timing, in the memory of where danger last left its mark. The architecture of the group is the algorithm. And if that is true for the cheetah and the wild dog, what algorithm, exactly, is running beneath every other species crossing this same dry ground? Look at the water hole now. Where this morning there was one set of tracks, there are many: lion, buffalo, zebra, wildebeest, pressed into the same drying mud, converging at the only water left. Each animal came here running a different calculation. That is not a metaphor. It is, as far as evolutionary biology can determine, close to the literal truth. Every species crossing this ground carries what researchers describe as a distinct cognitive and social algorithm. A structured logic, not a blind reflex, shaped by millions of years of selective pressure. The buffalo's forward stance against a lion, glimpsed earlier in the dry season, that was not courage. It was the output of a collective decision system, one that weighs group size, predator position, and retreat cost before committing the herd to stand. Studies confirm buffalo are capable of actively pushing back against predators rather than simply fleeing, a strategy that demands social consensus, not just muscle. The algorithm is the weapon. Across the same landscape, the cheetah is running an entirely different program. She adjusts her movements at a level of spatial and temporal precision that researchers describe as fine-grained, shifting timing and range in response to lion activity, reading the territory almost the way a navigator reads a current. Those lion tracks at the waterhole edge, she has passed them before. And here is the part that should give you pause. Her timing, it turns out, predicts lion patrol patterns with an accuracy that looks less like avoidance and more like anticipation. Two predators, same ground, one invisible architecture keeping them apart. Now consider the wildebeest. Their algorithm is built around two levers: synchronized mass calving to saturate predator capacity when young are most vulnerable, and when the dry season tightens, a hard constraint on movement dictated by food availability and population density. They do not choose to migrate out of instinct in the simple sense of the word. They are executing a population-level solution to a resource equation that has no other viable answer. The zebra, running beside them, is operating under a different pressure entirely, one governed less by food and more by the lion. Research shows zebra populations are shaped primarily by predation, not pasture. Their algorithm reads threat, not grass. And then there is the jacana. On a floating mat of vegetation above still water, she has inverted the logic every other species runs by. Females hold territory, females compete, while males incubate and guard the young. It is the sharpest counterpoint to brute force logic in the entire ecosystem. A complete reversal of the social algorithm, arrived at through the same evolutionary pressure, but solved in the opposite direction. What unites all of these strategies? The buffalo's collective defense, the cheetah's temporal map, the wildebeest's demographic flooding, the jacana's role reversal, is that none of them are simple. Each is a structured response to a structured problem, and crucially, each one creates conditions that the others must then adapt to. Buffalo redistribute nutrients across terrain that fear alone has stripped bare, altering the very food chains that smaller species depend on. The wild dog, balancing the demands of the hunt against the safety of pups left at the den, is not just managing its own algorithm. It is responding to a landscape partly written by the buffalo and the lion. These programs do not run in isolation. They interfere with each other, reinforce each other, and at times parasitize each other's logic. The dry season is the stress test none of them designed for, and all of them are already inside. When every algorithm reaches its limit at the same moment, which one holds? And what does surviving actually cost? The dry season does not arrive with a warning. It simply tightens, degree by degree, kilometer by kilometer, until every algorithm running across this savanna is pressed against the same wall at the same moment. For the cheetah, this is the month her margin disappears. The intervals she has mapped between lion patrols compress, and every corridor she has relied on narrows to almost nothing. For the wildebeest, the dry season exposes a brutal arithmetic. When grass thins and distances between feeding grounds widen, the sheer density of the herd, once its greatest shield, begins to consume itself. The calves born in that earlier flood of numbers are older now, faster, harder to separate from the mass. Predator saturation worked for a season. But the herd's movements are no longer its own choice. They are written by what the land can still offer, and by now, the land is offering very little. The zebra faces a different arithmetic entirely. Where wildebeest are shaped by grass and density, zebra populations bend under direct predation pressure, particularly from lions shifting their attention as easier prey becomes scarce. The open ground that once gave zebra sightlines now offers nowhere to hide. Moving into exposed grassland when lions are near is not foolishness. It is the only legible option left when water, shade, and cover all shrink to the same vanishing point. And something stranger is happening beneath the surface of fear itself. When the large grazers move, when buffalo and wildebeest push through soil despite the risk, they redistribute nutrients that smaller, more cautious species have been pooling in untouched corners. Courage in an ecosystem has a chemical consequence. The buffalo do not retreat. That forward stance, glimpsed at the edge of so many confrontations this season, is not aggression for its own sake. It is a calculated refusal to let fear dictate geography, and in doing so, the herd reshapes the land around it, long after the lions have moved on. For the wild dog, the dry season forces an admission no algorithm can fully resolve. Smaller packs cannot simultaneously hunt with full efficiency and guard what they have left behind. Something is always exposed. It is the oldest trade-off in social intelligence. The group is both the asset and the liability, and in the dry months, that tension becomes impossible to conceal. The cheetah, by contrast, has no such divided loyalty. She reads the mud, not as it is now, cracked and pale, but as it was when other feet pressed into it and left a record she has been quietly translating for weeks. Those tracks beside hers at the waterhole were not a warning. They were a timetable. In the dry season, the jacana holds a territory measured not in kilometers, but in square meters. A few floating mats of vegetation, a nest balanced on water that is itself disappearing. Her polyandrous system, Each male bound to her corner of the marsh means that when the water drops, every male with every clutch must recalculate independently, and she oversees all of it. No creature on this savanna demonstrates more precisely that the size of a territory has no relationship to the complexity of what governs it. Now, as the season presses toward its hardest point, the pulse returns, low, almost inaudible, somewhere beneath the silence between species. Some will cross to the other side of this dry season, carrying less than they entered with. Some will not cross at all. No single algorithm proved itself superior to the others, only more suited or less suited to the specific cruelty of this particular month. The savanna does not declare a winner. It simply continues, indifferent, waiting for the mud to dry completely. And when it does, when the last impression left by paw or hoof or claw disappears into the dust, what exactly will remain to tell us which minds held and which did not? The mud does not lie. What it recorded across the dry season, every step, every hesitation, every detour around a waterhole, is now being erased, centimeter by centimeter, as the cracked earth pulls tight and closes. But before it does, consider what is written there. 8 species, 1 impossible season, and a surface that held the only honest account of who decided well and who did not. The lion shifted its diet when the herds thinned, not out of desperation, but out of calculation, turning toward buffalo as the dry season deepened. That pivot cost something. Buffalo do not surrender. They have never simply run. And yet the lion prides that read the season earliest, adjusting before the pressure became critical, carried the fewest scars into the reins. There is a question that the buffalo raise, one the film has been circling. What does it mean to hold your ground when everything else is retreating? The buffalo's answer was always collective, always deliberate. A redistribution of weight across the herd, nutrient cycles altered, fear chains broken in ways that smaller animals could not manage. Brute force, it turns out, can be a form of intelligence when it is applied at the right moment by the right number of bodies. But intelligence is not always visible at scale. Consider the jacana. All season, on the shrinking mats of water hyacinth, a female held her territory by holding more than one future simultaneously. Multiple males, multiple nests, a system of redundancy built into the very architecture of her reproduction. When the water dropped and a nest was lost, another remained. she never ran a single thread. That, too, is a form of calculation, perhaps the most elegant one recorded this season. The wild dog packs faced the sharpest arithmetic of all. Every hunt that succeeded away from the den was a risk to what was left behind. The ones that survived the dry season were not the fastest or the most aggressive. They were the ones that held that trade-off in balance longest. And then there is the cheetah. Lone, lightweight, outmatched by almost everything that shares this landscape. And yet those tracks in the dried mud beside the waterhole tell a story that brute force logic cannot explain. She was here before the lions arrived, and she was gone before they came back. Not luck. Something closer to foresight, a spatial and temporal map, refined over months, that no other predator on this plain has needed to build, because no other predator was forced to. The wildebeest and the zebra moved according to rules older than memory: follow the grass, saturate the predators, absorb the losses. It is a brutal algorithm, and it works, though the individuals it sacrifices will never know that it worked. Now the last water is pulling back from the margins. The tracks are converging at a single point. Lion, buffalo, wild dog, cheetah, zebra, wildebeest, jacana, antelope, all drawn in the end to the same shrinking surface. Different minds, different strategies, the same irreducible fact: water and the absence of it. The dry mud is taking back everything it held. The cheetah's careful detour, the buffalo's forward step, the jacana's distributed nest, the wild dog's impossible arithmetic, all erased, one fracture line at a time. What the landscape will not tell us, even now, is which intelligence was the finest. We watched, and we still do not fully know. Africa's Savannah does not declare winners with any fanfare. It simply continues, and those who read it most precisely are permitted to continue with it. The last crack closes across the mud. Every trace gone. And somewhere just beneath hearing, something like a pulse, faint, patient, ancient, fades to nothing at all. The question the mud was always asking is still open, not who survived this season, but what kind of mind will be required for the next one. We are only beginning to understand the answer,